Hello, welcome to this week's video. This was the week that I did my support for Nik Kershaw. Now I did my support slots at a venue called the Factory Live, which is in Worthing in West Sussex in the UK. It's on the south coast below London. I feel very privileged to have been given this slot and the opportunity to support Nik. I was actually contacted directly by the venue, Craig at the venue, who asked me to do it. He left me a message, "Are you up for it?" I said, yes. When? Where? Just tell me where to go, I'll be there. It was a bit of a stress leading up to it, not because of the gig necessarily, but because I was on jury service. I got called up for jury service and it happened to clash with the gig. The start of my second week of jury service was the day of the gig. Now luckily it all worked out fine. The jury service, I ended up not having to do anything for most of the days, and I left at 1 o'clock on the day of the gig, so that all worked out fine. And luckily, because I got away early, I managed to get to the venue early and watch a lot of Nik's sound check and rehearsal. Now I haven't taken any footage of that because that's, people don't want their rehearsals and ironing things out video, do they? So I didn't take any footage of that. But I did take a couple of videos of myself in the run up to my set. So here we are, here's the first one in the car outside. I've done my sound check, I've said hello to Nik. And I just put my contact lenses in, it's my eyes watering, and I just sustained the most un-rock and roll injury imaginable. I just shut my little finger in my glasses case. Anyway, I just came out to the car to do that because I couldn't find a mirror inside, so that's why I'm out here. My eyes will stop watering in a minute. But I've got a wireless in-ear pack they've lent me. The sound check didn't take very long, so I just had to get the guitar and voice roughly in balance. So anyway, all good. I'm going to try and have my photo taken with Nik in a little while. Okay, bye. Then when I came back in, I managed to get myself a photo with Nik in the corridor. And for the first time ever, I've got my name on the dressing room door. Then I took another little video just before I went on stage. I'm backstage, got about 20 minutes before I go on. I'm not feeling that nervous, don't know why. Probably will be as soon as I step out there. But yeah, it's a lonely world being a solo support act. I'm here on my own, don't know quite what to do with myself, but I think my sister's just arrived, so I'm going to go out and see her in the audience. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I record most of my gigs on my GoPro. And what I've discovered with the GoPro is it's pretty reliable, but it does go wrong from time to time, and it always goes wrong at the most crucial time. And this was one of them. Of course I wanted to record my set at this gig, and the GoPro failed and only recorded the first 10 seconds, but you'll get to see my scintillating intro to my own set when I tell the story of having shut my finger in my glasses case. Hello everyone, how are you doing? I nearly didn't make it. I shut my finger in my glasses case earlier, which was a bit embarrassing. But it's all right. There we are, short but brief, but maybe the GoPro's got some kind of filter that turns off when somebody's talking rubbish. There we are, it turned off, but luckily my wife Sarah was right at the front and she managed to get some footage of the rest of the gig. I started with the newest song that I've written. If you've been watching my videos over the last few weeks, I've been showing some of my workings on this song, about how I've been getting the guitar sound with reamping and stuff using my Quad Cortex. So this song is called Come and Gone, which incidentally, if you do want a copy of the latest mix of it, go to my website, which is iamtjwalker.com. And you can download a free copy of it, so have a look there. But here's a bit of footage of me playing it. This is the very opening of the set, and I was a little bit on edge, and I made a couple of mistakes with the looping pedal. I think I covered them, but anyway, check this out. I think it sounds pretty good.
Top gear, top down, won't hear this on the radio. How's it got the right sound? Hit 85 when screaming, jack around or swaying. Will this stick around? In love and I love talking myself in circles. Fast lane keeping me sane. Holding back, FM can wait a while. The genie won't go in the bottle again. Haven't read the news today. Not driving anywhere to run away. Please don't talk to me and sound like that and tell me that it's come and gone. Oh, it's come and gone. Please don't say to me, don't sound like that and tell me that I was wrong. Oh, that I was wrong. It's been a year working on my own, and this is all I gotta show. Oh, it's come and gone. Oh, I was wrong, it's gone.
And now, a bit later on in the same song, I'm setting up a full loop where I put down a rhythm part, a bass part, and then a drum part, and then I solo over it. So I'll show you this clip, and then I'll show you my Quad Cortex preset of how I do that. I'll give you a little walk through the setup I used for my acoustic guitar sound here. I think it sounded pretty good. I had to use my in-ears. The band were all on in-ears. There was no stage monitoring, so the venue said, can you use in-ears, which of course I could. And because I was using my in-ears, I had an experiment at home, and I decided, instead of using the IR loaded onto my Quad Cortex, which I've used, if you check out some of my other videos, there's one called hybrid mode where I show you how I load on an IR. I decided to use my Fishman unit. So let me show you on here. This is the Fishman Aura I've got, and as you can see, I've got it set on a dreadnought setting, and just one of the factory settings. I went through them all and looked for the one that kind of sounded best and I thought would be less prone to feedback through a big PA. And you can see I've got the compressor just less than half. I've got the EQ fairly equal. I didn't use the anti-feedback thing, I didn't need to. So that was the settings on that. So I went into that first from my Takamine, and then I went into the Quad Cortex, and I've set up this preset called Hybrid No IR. Now I'll put this on the Cortex Cloud should anyone want to download it. And just a few notes here. You have to have it in stomp mode because I'm actually in a hybrid mode here. And what you need, actually, let me get this out. I haven't plugged it in because I'm not going to play anything through this at the moment, but you need a MIDI lead, a short MIDI lead like this, or you can use a long MIDI lead if you like, but this is neater, and you come out of the MIDI out and into the MIDI in, and it kind of loop backs, and the whole thing works in a kind of hybrid mode. I've done a video on how I set this up. As I say, it's called hybrid mode, so search on my channel. But basically I normally, on this extra little loop round here, I run an IR, but I haven't needed to because the Fishman's doing that job. But I've got a couple of gain blocks. Let me explain how this works actually. That is one scene, and that is the scene I use for the standard rhythm guitar parts. If I hit that, I've got boost, that turns on the gain. If I hit that, it turns on the delay, and obviously you can tap that to get the tempo you want. If I hit this one, this is another scene which clicks on. Oh, doesn't seem to be working right now. Let me see why. Oh, I know why it's not working, because I haven't got the MIDI cable plugged in. But if I hit that one, that kicks on the octave, and so that's when I can run the bass. I've got a wah pedal there as well, which if you put an expression pedal in, that works. And I've got the looper down here. I've got a reverb which is on all the time, and I've got a looper down here which runs off these two switches. That's the start stop, or the start overdub. That's the stop recording, start looping, and overdub, and stop. That's the two that you can do on it. So if you want to download that, it's called Hybrid No IR, and I shall put that on my Cortex Cloud. My Cortex Cloud username is TJ Walker. I'll just show you a couple of snippets of some of the other songs. This next song is Being the Best I Can Be. This is from my first album, which is called Long Game. It's one of the tracks off there, and all those albums are available. They're all on Spotify to stream if you want to have a listen, and they're also on CD. You can buy them from my website. But here's a little clip. This is called Being the Best I Can Be. Here's another song from my first album, The Long Game, and this is called I Should Have Been a Cowboy. Now, I tried on this one to get the crowd to sing along, which I did before. If you saw one of my previous videos, I supported Sam Lewis, who was over from Nashville, and I managed to get the crowd singing, and I did get the crowd singing on this. It doesn't really look like it from this video clip because we're kind of side on, but from where I was standing, because I had my ears in, so it's difficult to tell, but you can see, I could see the first two rows, and lots of people were singing along, so it was better than it looks on this video. But anyway, I'm going to show you this.
Right, let's try a sing-along. I know you've never heard it before, but it might work, mightn't it? So all we got to sing is, guess I should have been a cowboy. I could have played those cowboy songs. Let's just repeat those two lines, because I can't remember the rest of it. Here we go. Oh, where's it coming? I guess I should have been a cowboy. I could for singing along. Oh, thank you. Shall I keep the singing along bit in? I don't know. It's a bit of singing. Seemed to work, didn't it?
So I did a 30-minute set in all, 6 songs, and I'd kept the crowd waiting long enough by that time, although they were very receptive and it went down very well. In fact, I got a very nice review from Ian Bourne at scenesussex.uk, brilliant music website for live music in Sussex. I'll put a link to the review on the video here, and he took some very good photos as well, so I was very pleased with that. Some of the nicest things that anyone's ever written about me, very nice. Now I'm going to show you a couple of very short clips of Nick's set, and the reason I'm keeping these clips very short is because this week I received a copyright strike on my channel. Very annoying. It was for an Eagles song, which I know the Eagles are renowned for taking people's videos down. It's a video that had been up about 2 years and it didn't ever flag on the system, so I assumed it was alright. But enough of that on this video. I'll do another video about that annoying copyright strike. But anyway, I've got to be careful because if I get 2 more then my channel will be taken down. So here's just a few very quick snippets of Nick's set, and the band were absolutely fantastic. Adam Evans, a guitarist who I'd never met before. I had quite a good nerding session with him and Jerry, who works at the factory, all about guitars. Very nice guy, very nice to meet him. The whole band were fantastic, so it was really good. But here's just a few clips for you. I included in the middle of those clips a little snippet of Adam playing on the Eddie Van Halen guitar, the Frankenstrat, of which I would like one very much, and I'd seen him playing it, doing a version of Eruption on his Instagram channel, and I was chatting to him about it because I want one of those guitars, but I've resisted because I think I probably wouldn't use it with just the one pickup in. But what he's done, which I think is very clever, is he's put a real pickup in where the dummy one is and a switch on it, so it makes it a much more usable guitar. So does that mean I now need one? Anyway, I'm going to resist. After the gig, we went to Nick's dressing room and had a quick drink and chatted with him, and I have to say, 2 of my all-time favourite songs were written by Nick. The One and Only, which Chesney Hawkes had the hit with, and Wouldn't It Be Good, which was Nick's own hit. I mean, I like lots of his songs, but they are 2 of my all-time favourite songs by anybody. And to meet someone that you admire that much is always maybe a little bit worrying, but I'd say he was absolutely lovely. And he even indulged my wife by recreating a photo that I took of them about 18 years ago. Sarah worked at a radio station. They put on an intimate gig that she presented, and I took a photo of them afterwards, and she wanted to recreate the photo. And he even went to the effort of getting a couple of beers out the fridge because he had a couple of beers in his hand in the photo from 18 years ago. So it was a great experience, really enjoyed it. I'd love to do it again. Well, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment, all those good things if you so wish. I bring out new videos at 7 PM every Friday UK time, so I hope to see you next week.